To help break down all of this, Robert Hurd's findings, for criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. They're both joining us now, and I want to get Brian in here because we've been talking about the memory issue, right, Brian? He couldn't remember when his son Beau died. He couldn't remember when he was vice president. And his memory was hazy, as Hurd describes it, when talking about the Afghanistan debate, which was so important to him. And New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, who we'll have in our next hour, is talking about now bringing up the 25th Amendment. And we'll get into that with her. But walk me through legally about this memory issue and whether she might have an argument.
Yeah. Hey, Aisha, great to be with you. So what Robert Hur is basically saying is at trial, the DOJ's got to prove that President Biden willfully withheld documents. Willful, Aisha, is a very high standard in the legal world. And what he's basically saying is if President Biden is having issues with memory, even as to the date of his son's death, that it's going to be hard to convince a jury that he acted willfully if he can't even remember basic facts. Do I think that should be weighed into this? I think it should. And I think this decision is devastating to Biden in many respects because it shows that he's got a bad memory. It shows that he broke the law. Now, if I'm President Trump, though,
but are you supposed to, Brian, are you supposed to let off people, a criminal, if they commit a crime, if they just can't remember it?
No, Aisha, what I'm saying is a federal prosecutor has the job of not only, they have a twofold job. Did somebody potentially break the law? Can they prove that in a court of law? They've got to consider that. They should have considered that with President Trump. That was going to be my next point, which is if I'm Trump, I'm filing a motion to throw out his charges based on the same logic that's being used here. In other words, hey, we can't likely prove this case against Biden because he's going to be sympathetic. Well, what about President Trump? You shouldn't be prosecuting him in Florida, where he's very well liked, and you've got zero chance of getting a guilty verdict there. So I think the logic was correct, but you have to equally apply that to President Trump, and he should try to get his charges tossed now.
Okay.
Inappropriate.
Brian, I'll give you the quick last word.
Yeah, it's going to be a 9-0 vote on this, and I think the U.S. Supreme Court needs to do this. They need to find that under the Supremacy Clause that a state, any state cannot usurp a federal, they can't invoke a state decision to usurp a federal election. A state can't jump into federal territory. If they use that basis, Aisha, that's going to preempt every single other state in this country
from
trying to do this.
For sure.
Exactly.
Brian, Julian, thank you both for joining us. A lot we had to get to. Thank you.